It looks as though Waterloo Road's resident bad boy Shuey is turning over a new leaf, with a new foster home plus a new romance in the last run of episodes. And with 2 new series recently commissioned by the BBC, who knows what could happen next? One thing for certain is that Zak Sutcliffe has made history at the Inside Soap Awards this year, by being nominated twice for 2 different roles. Not only has his Waterloo Road performance earned him a Best Drama Star nod, he also has a Best Newcomer nomination for playing Mercedes' son Bobby in Hollyoaks. Inside Soap caught up with Zak to celebrate his achievement. It's the subtle changes we've seen in him over time. Shuey has been influenced by his dad, but you also see these moments of his true self. In the most recent series, you saw a shift in his feelings towards himself and the people around him, and I just think that's a beautiful thing to explore. It's really rewarding to play and really scratches an itch. It feels pretty cool. I was really nervous about taking Hollyoaks, because I know Jaden Fox, who previously played Bobby, and he brought an incredible softness to the role that I thought I'd struggle to portray. I really welcomed the challenge, especially knowing how fast Hollyoaks works. Aside from the recognition, I'm just glad that people like me playing Bobby. How do Shuey and Bobby compare as characters? Shuey wants to prove to those around him that he can take care of himself. He's got these twisted ideals about what a man should be and sometimes wants to justify the bad things he's done. But with Bobby, it was nothing but regret and sympathy. He understood that what he did was wrong and how it affected the lives of those around him. Waterloo Road and Hollyoaks star Zak Sutcliffe on making soap history. It's not every day that an actor makes Inside Soap Awards history, but that's exactly what Zak Sutcliffe has achieved. At just 22, the rising star has bagged 2 major nominations in the same year for 2 different shows, Waterloo Road and Hollyoaks. As the rebellious but softening Shuey in Waterloo Road, Zak has won over audiences with his raw and vulnerable portrayal of a teenager trying to break free from the shadow of his past. Meanwhile, in Hollyoaks, he's stepped into the role of Bobby Costello, Mercedes McQueen's troubled son, navigating a complex arc of guilt, regret, and self-discovery. It's a rare feat to win fans across 2 long-running dramas, but Zak has managed it with skill, heart, and authenticity. With Waterloo Road recently renewed for 2 more series and Hollyoaks constantly shifting the ground beneath its characters, Zak's future looks brighter than ever. We caught up with him to talk nominations, challenges, and what comes next. It feels surreal. Inside Soap. Congratulations on making history with your double nominations. How does it feel? Zak Sutcliffe, it's honestly surreal. When I found out, I had to double check because I thought they'd made a mistake. Laughs, being nominated once is amazing, but twice, and for 2 completely different roles, that's something I'll never forget. I grew up watching soaps, so to even be part of one feels huge. But to be recognized in this way? It's incredible. My mum cried when I told her. Shuey's redemption, from bad boy to big-hearted teen. Inside Soap. Shuey's been on such a journey in Waterloo Road. What's it been like to play him? Zak. It's the subtle changes that have made it so rewarding. Shuey started out as this reckless, angry boy, full of bravado, trying to act tough. He had this warped idea of what being a man meant, heavily influenced by his dad. But as time's gone on, you've seen flashes of his true self. In the most recent series, there was a real shift in how he saw himself and others. He's got a foster family now, he's trying to open up to love, and that's such a beautiful thing to explore. It really scratches an itch as an actor because you get to show that growth without losing the raw edge of the character. Bobby's guilt. A different kind of challenge. Inside Soap. And then you've got Bobby in Hollyoaks. How did you approach stepping into that role? Zak. I was nervous, to be honest. Jaden Fox, who played Bobby before me, did such an amazing job. He brought this softness and vulnerability that I thought would be really hard to match. So I definitely felt pressure. But I also welcomed the challenge. Hollyoaks moves so fast, the pace is relentless, but that actually helped me settle in. Bobby is a character full of regret. He's done things he knows are wrong, and he's haunted by them. Playing that guilt, that self-awareness, was completely different to Shuey. With Shuey, it's about proving himself and trying to justify mistakes. With Bobby, it's about accepting that he's hurt people and living with the consequences. They're both broken boys, but in very different ways. Inside Soap. So how do Shuey and Bobby compare? Zak. Shuey is all about control. He wants to show people he can take care of himself, that he's tough enough to survive. But deep down, he's a scared kid who doesn't want to be abandoned. Bobby is more reflective. He knows he's made mistakes and he carries a lot of regret. There's a real sadness in him, but also a desire to do better. So while Shuey is all bravado and bluster, Bobby is about remorse and redemption. As an actor, it's amazing to get to play both sides of that coin. Fan reactions. Team Shuey versus Protect Bobby. Since Zak took on these roles, fans have lit up social media with passionate reactions. On Twitter, X, Waterloo Road fans have praised Shuey's character growth. "Who knew I'd end up rooting for Shuey of all people," one wrote. Another posted, "Zak Sutcliffe is smashing it. Shuey is becoming my fave." Meanwhile, Hollyoaks viewers have warmed quickly to Bobby's recast. "I was worried about Bobby being recast, but Zak brings a whole new layer. Brilliant casting," said one fan. Soap forums have been buzzing with speculation about whether Bobby might finally find peace, or if his guilt will push him into darker storylines. Clearly, Zak has managed to win over two very different audiences, proving his versatility. Balancing two soaps. Inside Soap. How did you juggle playing two soap characters at once? Zak. It was intense. The filming schedules don't always line up neatly, so there were weeks where I'd be shooting Waterloo Road up in Manchester, then rushing to Hollyoaks in Liverpool the next day. It's a lot of travel, a lot of scripts to learn. But it kept me sharp. Switching between two completely different characters stopped me from getting comfortable. With Shuey I had to stay in that teenage rebel mindset, while with Bobby I had to lean into guilt and vulnerability. It was like flicking a switch in my head. Exhausting, but amazing. Looking ahead. 2 more series of Waterloo Road. With the BBC recently commissioning 2 more series of Waterloo Road, the future looks exciting for Shuey. Zak. I can't say too much, but Shuey's story isn't over. He's trying to build a new life, but he's still haunted by his past. And with romance entering the picture, there's a lot more to explore. He's never had stability before, so seeing him try to hold on to it will be fascinating. As for Bobby and Hollyoaks, that's a show where anything can happen. I think fans should buckle up, because he's got some tough roads ahead. Making history. Inside Soap. Finally, how does it feel to know you've made Inside Soap Awards history? Zak. It feels pretty cool, doesn't it? Laughs. Honestly, I'm just grateful. Awards are amazing, but the real reward is knowing that people are connecting with my work. Whether it's Shuey or Bobby, if viewers see themselves in those characters, that's the biggest achievement for me. Closing thoughts. Zak Sutcliffe is more than just a rising star. He's proof that soap actors can tackle layered, challenging roles across different worlds and win the hearts of fans everywhere. With Shuey's redemption arc unfolding and Bobby's haunted journey deepening, there's no telling where his career will go next. But one thing's for certain, in the eyes of viewers and critics alike, Zak has already carved his place in soap history.